Grizzlies, you're done. Yo, what is going on, you guys? It's your boy King Sanders here. We are back with another day of sports betting. This is going to be for Monday, February 6th slate of NBA action. We have a pretty decent slate on of games, so I am excited to dive into it. We did end up finding 3 plays, and it's the beginning of the week, so we got some new stuff coming here for you. But before we go ahead and dive into it, I did just want to go ahead and say that we are on the road to 12,000 subscribers. So if you guys are new, make sure that you guys do like the video and make sure you guys do go ahead and sub to it. Let me know what your guys' favorite play is down below as well. I may be looking to add a new one, so if you guys have any really sharp props that you really like, I know you guys did end up dropping some gems yesterday on the video, but I may be looking to add one today, so make sure you guys do go ahead and drop your favorite plays down below. But next, I did just want to go ahead and give a quick shout out here to all of our members here on the channel. Thank you guys so much for everything that you guys do, and thank you guys so much for giving such a small channel such a big chance, as I always say. It truly does mean the absolute world to me, so much more than you guys will ever know. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and dive into a quick recap as of yesterday. Not the greatest day. I'll be straight up with you guys. It was not a great day yesterday. We did end up having Paolo Banchero over 20.5 points versus Charlotte, minus 115. There was no reason that we should have won this bet. We really should have been 0-3 on the day, but Paolo Banchero ended up having 20 points throughout the first 3 quarters. I sat there and watched the fourth quarter, ends up shooting 2 bricks and misses a layup. So it was definitely a tough fourth quarter for Mr. Banchero, but then Charlotte, even though they were down by like 6 or 7 with only like 20 to 30 seconds left on the clock, they ended up fouling. I'm not sure why they fouled, but they ended up fouling and put Banchero at the line, knocks down both free throws, and we hit his over. It was definitely sweaty, made me get an extra gray hair, but regardless, it ended up working out for us. Then we did end up having the Grizzlies. The Grizzlies, welcome to the list. Welcome to the grave, because you are done to me. I'm not betting on them anymore. I knew that John Morant was listed as questionable. I knew that Jaren Jackson Jr. was listed as questionable. I figured one of them was going to end up playing, which Jaren Jackson did end up playing. And they had control of this game up until the fourth quarter, which is the exact same thing that they did against the Blazers not too long ago. The Blazers ended up smoking them in the fourth quarter, and the Toronto Raptors ended up smoking them in the fourth quarter. So you're done to me. The only thing I'm taking is going to be first half spread. That's the only thing I'm going to be taking when it comes to Grizzlies related stuff, because they have not been good to us. Maybe take some props and stuff, but I just thought that the pieces that they put out there were going to be able to get it done for us, and they held their ground up until like the last 5 or 6 minutes of the game and just completely fell apart. But you know, it is what it is. Ended up losing that one. Then we did have Miles Turner. Wow. I am so sorry, Miles. I don't know what I did to you, man, but he almost doubled this point line. We took his under 17.5 points versus the Cavs, minus 125. He crushed this line. He finished with 27. He almost dropped 30 points on us. So Miles Turner just had a great night. I was looking at all the Pacers props. I was trying to figure out which one I wanted to go with, and I ended up going with Miles Turner just because he was a center. I thought that it was going to be a pretty good matchup. Yeah, no, I was wrong. I should have taken any other under, and it would have been way better than what Miles Turner did. Miles Turner went crazy. So shout out to Miles. Great game from him. Ended up going 1-2 on our plays. But we're bouncing back today. New week. And we got something coming at towards the end of the episode as well. So make sure you guys do stick around for that. But without any further ado, let's go ahead and dive into our first play of the day. We are going to be taking the Cavaliers and the Wizards under 221 at minus 110 odds. Now, Cleveland has been really profitable here to the under on the year, 30 and 25 to the under this year. So they are more profitable than not to this under. Washington is literally a clean wash. They're 25 and 25 and 2. So they're pretty much just as much of a coin flip as you can get, but I really do like the spot here. Cleveland is 16 and 11 to the under on the road this year as well. They're a much better performing team at home, and I think this is a spot where the Wizards, they do end up keeping this one close, and it's going to be a much more defensive game than normal. Washington is 19th in points per game, so just outside that bottom 10, and Cleveland's 26th, so they're in that bottom 5. So I think that this is a spot. It's not a very high-scoring game. I think it's going to be very defensive, very grit and grind type of game. So I really do like this under here. Cleveland also does allow 6 fewer points per game on the road. One of the best defenses in basketball as of right now. They allow the fewest points per game to opposing teams and 6 fewer on the road. This is a perfect spot to me. I think that the Washington Wizards do end up struggling today. I could 100% be wrong, but I do think that they end up struggling. Washington is also 19th in pace, so it's not like they're a very fast-paced team, but Cleveland is dead last. So Cleveland is the slowest paced team in all of basketball. They allow the fewest points. They allow even fewer on the road. This is a great spot to be able to take an under here. And with the question marks for both sides, Karis LeVert is listed as questionable. We all know he's not necessarily a great defensive asset, but he is very good on the offensive end of things. And if he's going to be out, that's going to take away some scoring from that Cavaliers offense. And on the flip side of things, for the Wizards, Bradley Beal and Kyle Kuzma are listed as questionable. So if either of those guys are out, I think that we stand even more of a chance to be able to hit this one. So I really do like this one here. For our first official play of the day, Cavs and the Wizards under 221 at minus 110 odds. Now for our second official play of the day, we're going to be taking DeMar DeRozan over 25.5 points versus his former team, the San Antonio Spurs, at minus 120 odds. Now look, he is going up against his old team, and he performs versus the San Antonio Spurs. First things first, DeMar DeRozan has gone over in 6 out of his last 8 games in general, and he's gone over in 6 out of his last 7 versus the Spurs. So he has been very solid against the San Antonio Spurs. A lot of times I don't like to bet on my Chicago Bulls because I get them wrong a lot of the time. Even though I know that team like the back of my hand, I do have a tendency to get them wrong. But I think this is a spot that you want to take DeMar DeRozan. The Spurs have allowed the 7th most points per game to opposing small forwards in the last 7 games and the 6th most in the last 15. So they've given up a lot of points to that small forward position. And let's be honest, the San Antonio defense is really nothing to be scared of either. They allow the most points per game to opposing teams in the entire NBA. So they're the worst defense by the numbers. And not to mention, they allow the most points per game to 2-pointers, which technically, however you want to look at it, qualifies as layups and also qualifies as mid-range shots. But we all know that's where DeMar DeRozan spends his time, is either, getting to the rim or shooting the mid-range shot. He's one of the best mid-range shooters in all of basketball. So I think this is a great spot here. And it does look like Patrick Williams and Alex Caruso are questionable for this game. So if either of those guys are out, that's going to be more shots for DeMar. I know that these guys aren't huge shot takers, but still, everybody off of the floor is going to give DeMar a little bit of a boost. So I really do like this one here for our second official play of the day. DeMar DeRozan over 25.5 points here versus the Spurs at minus 120 odds. Now for our third and final play of the day, we got to trust our GOATs, right? That's what I always say. We're taking Lauri Markkanen over 25.5 points here versus Dallas at minus 115 odds. Now, I know you're probably looking at me and you're like, an over versus the Dallas Mavericks? I get it. But this is not going to be the same Dallas Mavericks team. As we all know, the huge trade ended up happening where Kyrie is now going to be sent over to Dallas. And Dallas already had so many players injured. And then they're taking away one of their best wing defenders. They're taking away one of their best guards. And so with all of that being said, there's a lot of holes in this defense right now. And I think that Lauri Markkanen is going to be able to exploit those. If you take a look at the active players for Dallas tomorrow, Tim Hardaway Jr., he's been there the whole time. Reggie Bullock, he's been there the whole time. Jaden Hardy, Josh Green, Dwight Powell, Frank Ntilikina, McKinley Wright, and Theo Pinson. So as of right now, at the time that I'm recording this, which is on the 5th, and it's about 11:30 at night, there are only 8 players active for Dallas. And I know that Tim Hardaway Jr. is a great defender. I know that he is. And I know that Reggie Bullock is a really good defender as well. But this defense is not going to be the same. In the last 2 games that they have not had Dorian Finney-Smith in the lineup, they gave up 140 and 136 points in each of the last 2 games here without Dorian Finney-Smith. So their defense just goes way down when Dorian Finney-Smith is out of the lineup. He has been a key piece to this. And if they're only running 8 guys, that's a lot of minutes for these main guys. So I think that it is going to cause just a little bit of problems here. I think that Lauri Markkanen is going to be able to take advantage of it. The Jazz are 9.5-point favorites as well. If that's the case, somebody's probably going to have to show up, and I do think it's going to be Lauri Markkanen. He has gone over in 2 out of his last 3 games, and one of those games was versus Dallas, which was I think it was exactly a week ago, now that I'm thinking about it. But it was exactly a week ago, and he ended up hitting the over versus them with Dorian Finney-Smith, who played a total of 41 minutes. So even with one of their best wing defenders in the game, who played 41 minutes in that game, Lauri Markkanen was able to still hit the over. So I think it's a pretty good chance here. And Lauri Markkanen's hit this over in 6 out of his last 10 games, and 3 of those games have finished right on the hook. So he's almost 9 out of his last 10. If this line was literally 1 point lower, he'd be 9 out of his last 10 games. So I wouldn't be shocked if we were to finish right on the hook with this one and he finished right at 25, I really wouldn't be shocked. I mean, he's finished on the hook 3 times in his last 10 games. That's pretty crazy odds, to be honest, but I do like this spot here. Dallas also allows 6 more points per game on the road, and Utah, they are the 4th best scoring offense in all of basketball, and they average 4 more points per game at home. If those 4 points can go to Lauri Markkanen, I think he's going to be able to do the rest. So I really do like this one here for our 3rd and final play of the day. Lauri Markkanen over 25.5 points here versus Dallas at -115 odds. Now, those are the official plays, but I did want to go ahead and address that we are going to be bringing back the ladder challenge. It's going to be same game parlay ladder challenge. So that day 1 is more than likely going to be in the Warriors and the Thunder game. I love the Thunder side of this game, especially with no Steph Curry. So more than likely I will be having some plays from that game. I really like SGA today. I really like the Thunder today. So maybe end up doing some alternate lines with some of those, but I just have to wait until I'm able to actually put that into a same game parlay, kind of see what the odds end up being. But that's so keep an eye out for that. That's going to be in YouTube short form. So make sure you guys are tuned in for that as well. So that is going to do it for today's video. If you guys did enjoy, make sure you guys do like, comment, subscribe, turn on that notification bell so you guys know whenever I post. Like I said, let me know if you guys do have any props down below that you guys are very confident in. I may be looking into doing some research and potentially add them to my card, and you will of course get a shout out if I end up taking your prop as well. So make sure you guys do that. But that's going to do it for me. This is King Center signing out. Peace.